Hi everyone, it's Dan Ellis, founder and CEO of EPX Technical Services. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Very much grateful for all the work that we've done together this past year, and I'm looking forward to catching up with you all again in January. Now, the holiday season is upon us, and I'm afraid this is going to be another of those security videos because times of holidays, times when people are not in the office, these are all massive opportunities for cyber criminals, for hackers, for fraudsters. So I'm sorry, I do have a couple of hints and tips to give you just before you finish for the year. If you have any members of staff working remotely, especially those who do not normally work remotely, please make sure that they are working remotely using all of the security available. And by this, I mean, please make sure they are using two-factor authentication. If they have to remotely dial into your office, please make sure they are using encrypted VPN connections, making sure their computers have encrypted hard disks, and so on. I'm not going to make this a big list of all the technical things you need to consider. Simply, please, if you have any members of staff working remotely who do not normally work remotely, please call our help desk and just have us do a double check to make sure everything is set up as securely as it can be. If your staff members normally work remotely and if you're using one of our cybersecurity packages, we'll already be way ahead of this for you. However, it's always handy to check. Next, festive phishing scams. I'm afraid this is a really common one around this time of year. Remember that phishing attacks take advantage of pressure, time-sensitive events, current affairs. So if you get an email that says something like, "Hi, you've won this thing. You just need to fill in this form within the next 12 hours or you won't win for our festive Christmas special." That wasn't a very good example. But this is the time of year where you can expect to see people emailing you, an increase in this type of email, especially between Christmas and New Year when people are at home, maybe not checking things as carefully as they should be. Please make sure that your team is well aware that this time of year they will see more fraudulent emails come through. I would also say that that extends into things like finances. This is where you may see people say, "Hey, it's the end of the year, we've implemented some changes, you'll need to pay our new bank account now." Or someone saying, "I need you to pay this amount of money to this strange bank account you've never heard of before." You get an increase in these type of attacks at this time of year. So what we do at EPX financially is we say no new payees and no changes to bank accounts unless there's some exceptional circumstance in which we sit and discuss it in person before we consider changing anything. Because this is a dangerous time of year for that kind of thing. If you, throughout this year, have seen a little box pop up on your screen saying, "Update your computer, press to update now," or something like that, if you've been putting it off, now's the time to do it. Because if you're going to have your computer systems on and unattended, or just if you're having computer systems left so they can be remotely connected to, this is a time of year where your computers will be unattended for days upon end. It's very important to have your computer systems patched and updated. Now, we at EPX, we already monitor this kind of thing for Windows updates and updates to major pieces of software like the Microsoft suite. We already take care of these updates for you. But if you have any doubts, any uncertainties, or if you've been clicking ignore or postpone to update so far, now's the time to do them, and you should check with our team if you are uncertain about anything. Now's a good time to patch. It's always a good time to patch, but Christmas more than ever. One thing that cyber criminals like to take advantage of is when people are out of the office, the designated points of contact, line managers and such are unavailable because they're with their family. They like to take advantage of confusion. So please make sure that your team knows who to call in the event of any security uncertainty or other type of incident. We, as a company, we will remain available with our 24/7 out-of-hours service if you have any emergencies. And we also, if you are using one of our cybersecurity packages, we are monitoring all of your systems for security 24/7, 365. We're already doing that. But please make sure your team know who they can call in the event of an incident or security concern. Because one of the largest cyber bank heists in history was in 2016, and it took place over a particularly long weekend when there was a massive public holiday on the Friday and on the Monday, so the hackers had 4 days to do their attack. Hackers like it when people are out of the office. So please make sure your team know who to call if they need any help. Make sure the computer systems are all patched. Make sure any members of staff working remotely who haven't worked remotely before know how to do so safely. And have a great Christmas. Despite all the security concerns, we are looking after your systems for you. Just please use us if you are at all uncertain about the security of your company. In the meantime, thank you very much again for another year together, and I'm looking forward to catching up with you next year. Thank you.